5th January at 9 p.m. and welcome to GTV News. I'm Natasha Najwa.
I am Hanana Zuha.
Hello and good evening. Our main headline tonight, Singapore graduates unemployment. Unemployment rates in Singapore continue to decline in November last year, according to figures from the Ministry of Manpower on Thursday, January 6. The overall unemployment rate was 2.5%, down from 2.6% in October. The resident unemployment rate fell to 3.2% from 3.4% in October, while the citizen unemployment rate dipped to 3.5% from 3.6% previously. Dr. Tan said the increase in group size for dining out, the opening of more vaccinated travel lanes have allowed sectors hardest by COVID-19 such as food and beverage service and air transport to begin ramping up capacity again. We expect hiring demand in domestic sectors to pick up with gradual relaxation of community measures.
Down from the 80,000 unemployed residents in October, including 72,200 citizens. According to the Business Times, November's figures are the lowest since March 2020, when overall unemployment was 2.5%, resident unemployment was 3.5%, and citizen unemployment was 3.6%. Job seekers who need support can approach Workforce Singapore and National Trades Union Congress Employment and Employability Institute for career matching service. As working from home has become increasingly entrenched, more businesses and employers will have factored this in, and more jobs will also be reconfigured to suit the work from home setting.
The issue of reduction of work done by the production team, such as factory, processing sectors, and so on, has caused many members of the public to lose employment resources. The problem of job losses is due to factories that have raised the price of product, which causes many consumers to look for the same product from factories that offer cheaper price. So with me now is one of the workers from Alagappa factories, Miss Putri Rabitul Adabia. As we know, the Alagappa factory has laid off many workers as a result of the production of goods that do not reach the capacity of the workers' needs. In other words, the Alagappa factory had a surplus of workers but a shortage of product production because the price of the product produced has increased. Miss Putri, I heard a lot of people have been laid off as a result of this inflation, and you are the one of them. So you can tell me in details how you were fired?
Actually, I'm a factory worker, but recently my boss fired me because our company could not afford our salary. So many of my work colleagues got fired too. This happened because many consumers no longer buy products from our company due to rising prices that occur in our country. This results in decreasing production of our product. So many of us have no jobs.
Miss Putri, now you have lost your source of income. So can you tell me how you overcome this problem?
At first, it was difficult for me to deal with this situation. This is because I'm the eldest child and have become like the head of my family. So no matter what, I have to find money to cover the full expense of my siblings. So I try to find other alternative to make money by doing business online. But still, this is not enough for me and my family.
Thank you, Miss Putri, for your sharings in relation to the break of you and your colleague who lost his or her job as a result of this inflation. I pass back to you, Hanan and Natasha, as repentas.
Around the world, inflation is said to be a key challenge this year as price rise on multiple fronts, border restriction and supply chain disruptions, a result of measures to contain the spread of COVID-19, have also led to higher manpower costs and freight fares for business. In Singapore, families are facing higher price in array of goods and service, including for food, public transport, and electricity. The Monetary Authority of Singapore (MAS) has highlighted the higher inflationary pressure and moved to tighten its monetary policy in response. The situation here is exacerbated by the recent spate of floods in Malaysia, driving up the import cost of goods that Singapore gets from across the causeway, and prices are expected to up further this year, with the impending increase in Goods and Service Tax (GST).
Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong said in his New Year message that the government has to start moving on the planned increase in GST from 7% to 9%. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, had said in its October macroeconomic review that public transport fares could be raised again and healthcare subsidies may be phased out this year as well. Must expect overall inflation for 2022 to come in between 1.5 and 2.5%, up from around the project 2% in 2021. Core inflation, which strips out private transport and accommodation costs, is projected to rise between 1 and 2% next year, higher than the upper end of the 0 to 1% forecast range that must expect inflation to hit in 2021.
Nowadays, the problems of rising prices of essential food is often experienced by housewives. The increase in the price of these goods occurs because the goods have high demand, but have a very limited production process. This is also called by inflation, and here I state the meaning of inflation is an increase in the general price level of goods and service in an economy from time to time. Now, with me was the housewife, Mrs. Tengku Amanina. Mrs. Amanina, are you aware that since the COVID-19 pandemic began 2 years ago, the price of goods and service have risen due to inflation in the economy? Can you give me a little insight on this?
Yes, I have noticed that. This is because before the COVID-19 start about 2 years ago, I would spend about 400 Singapore dollar a month on groceries and other basic necessities. But as of December last year, my monthly spending has gone up to over 500 Singapore dollar on the same list of items.
Oh, Miss Agnina, I got a next question for you. That is, would you mind to sharing a bit more about the situation you are going through now?
Like I mentioned, my monthly spending has increased on the same list of items since December last year. Basically, I always go to the same shop and the same stall in the market, and there seems to be a 50 to 80 cent increase on most things like detergent, chicken, fish, mutton, and more other things. In my neighborhood, for example, I noticed that a carton of 30 eggs that used to be 3 Singapore dollar, but now has risen to 5 Singapore dollar. The price have gone up so much and everything has become so expensive. Those with low income will have negative effects on their finance, which is not good for them. So in this case, I think it will be better to rebudget my spending by reducing costs like entertainment to prioritizing necessities.
Thank you, Mrs. Almadina, for your sharing about inflation. I think that's all from me. Back to you, Hanan and Natasha at Sri Pentas.
So that's all for today. I am Hanan Azuha.
I'm Natasha Najwa. Thank you for watching GTV News. Good night.